It's been an insane week in the world of AI, and this week's news coverage, we're starting off with Gemini generating a world of bacon and put it in, and we're going to run through this world. So we're going to take this image, we're going to come to Mirage 2, we're going to hit upload. Once we have it uploaded, then it'll ask for a description, and we can hit AI generate. It is going to generate a full world for us based on our picture. And we have to wait about 7 minutes for the servers to open back up. But playing around with this app, the results are absolutely epic, so you want to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I want to talk about the AI bubble. So this past week, Sam Altman said, and I quote, "Are we in a phase where investors as a whole are overly excited about AI? My opinion is yes. Is AI the most important thing to happen in a very long time? My answer is also yes." Sam Altman was talking about, is AI in a bubble, and are people just overly excited about it in the current state? And he went on to basically say that semiconductors are not in a bubble, purely based off fundamentals. But he did say that there's speculative capital chasing companies with weaker fundamentals. So basically he's trying to say, hey, there is an AI bubble, but it's not open AI. And then we have Meta that was basically saying, hey, we are giving out all these massive large AI talent contracts, we should probably hold back a little bit and not do that. If you remember a news segment a few weeks ago, Meta made a $14.3 billion deal with Scale AI to acquire 49% of their company. They also have given out extremely lucrative contracts to many AI researchers. So they are kind of at a pausing point where they want to see what's happening with the AI industry before they continue giving out these massive contracts. Is AI in a bubble? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to know what you think. But that doesn't mean Meta is stopping working on AI altogether. They have also partnered with MidJourney, so AI images and videos can come to all of the Meta platforms. What's interesting about this deal is no actual terms were released. All we know is that MidJourney CEO, David Holtz, posted on Twitter this tweet here: "We remain an independent, community-backed research lab with no investors." Despite this big, massive deal, he's trying to say, hey, they're not investing in MidJourney, they're just kind of licensing or using our technology. Google launched the Pixel 10 this past week, and they have a ton of new AI features on the phone, such as like Magic Queue, which is going to automatically look at content within your phone and then make suggestions for you when you're like texting someone. So imagine you have reservations for somewhere and a friend says, hey, where are we going tonight? You can see on the demonstration here, it just pops up and says, hey, one click, tap this, it'll send the address to the person based off the reservations you made that are in your email. Magic Queue is also supposed to pull up information on your phone calls depending on who you're calling. So imagine you have reservations, you want to change them, it'll pull it up on a little box. In this example here, they're just basically showing it works with airlines, and it shows the exact flight information you have with your booking. There's supposed to be an AI translation feature when you're making phone calls as well, that's supposed to do like live translation back and forth through multiple different languages for both parties, which is kind of cool. There's a new feature as well. When you're taking a photo, you can pick from a different list of shot suggestions, and then it will help you line up the shot so you get the perfect photo every single time. I'll actually have the Pixel 10 Pro, and I'll do a full AI review next week when I get it. Google's YouTube is begin testing some new AI features, which is AI-powered age verification system. And they're starting in the US to start. Basically what it is it will determine based off the type of videos you've been watching, whether you're an adult or a child. If the system detects you're under 18, then YouTube will impose its normal conditions that it has on anyone under the age of 18. Such as taking breaks from your screen, privacy warnings, and restrictions on video recommendations. And then if the system incorrectly identifies you, you can always submit a government-issued ID to say, hey, I am who I say I am, and I am over the age of 18. I don't know how I feel about this system just yet. I've seen some people online get hit with it, saying, hey, this is the worst ever, I don't want to give my ID. But also, I think in the grand scheme of things, if it works well and it can protect children's data and just children as a whole, I think it's good. So, mixed feelings. Can we talk about Apple and Siri for a moment? So in last week's news segment, I talked about how Google's been putting out these ads basically saying, hey, your phone should come with AI built in from the start. You shouldn't have to wait like a year for promised features. Well, Apple now has a plan for AI and Siri, and it looks something like this. Please, sir, please let Siri sip from the Gemini cup. It's obviously a joke meme, but here is what's going on. Apple is considering using Google Gemini to power its next-gen Siri. Apparently, Apple has approached Google to explore making custom AI model that would serve as a foundation for the new Siri next year. And then internally, Apple's holding a bake-off to see which approach will work best. So they're going to have multiple models, multiple companies. I think this is a very good approach for the end consumer to give the end consumer the best possible model that is available. And Claude by Anthropic is obviously part of the mix as well, which is apparently one of the front runners. Asking price is just a little bit too high for Apple's new Siri. I don't know if you're familiar, but Elon dated Grimes and Elon had a child together, and then they ended up splitting up. And how does this all relate to AI? What does Grimes have to do with AI? Well, Grimes started a company, or teamed up with a company called Kiro, and Kiro creates little stuffed animals that are AI powered. And the first AI powered stuffed animal that she created, that she wanted to have, was a stuffed animal called Grok. And Grok, as you know, is Elon Musk's AI bot's name, which Grimes said, you took the name idea Grok from me, and that was my idea. So now her stuffed animal AI company is finally launching pre-orders. You can see it here, a magical workshop where toys come to life. And there are 3 different ones to start. You can see Grimes here, and you can see it's all featured on, blah, blah, blah. We have Grok here. This is Grok. It is basically a toy that you can just like put down, you can talk to, you can click these little sound bubbles, you can see how it sounds. And then if we scroll down, this is Grem, and this is Gabo. So Gabo is your friendly, trusty robot. And then if you shop now and if you pre-order, it says you're going to get it in like 3 to 4 months. As you can see here from the feature set, it's voiced by Grimes, it's screen-free fun, voice-powered chats, endless conversations, 3+, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that they're not being super transparent about yet is the subscription. So you can see here it says no subscription required. It's free to talk to, but there's like limits within the day. But then there's also like, hey, you get 60 days for free of our Plus subscription, but we can't tell you exactly how much it's going to cost or how it's going to work yet. If you guys want to see me test out one of these AI stuffed animals, let me know in the comments below. If there's enough interest, I'll purchase one so I have it. When it gets released, we can give it a go. Microsoft and the NFL announced a multi-year partnership to use AI to enhance game day analysis. From the information I've seen, they want to supply the NFL with like 2,500 custom-built Microsoft Surface tablets so they can have them on the sidelines. Those tablets are going to have Copilot built in, and they are working on AI-specific software for agents, for players, for scouting, for salary cap management, anything to do with the NFL. Microsoft wants to make all sorts of just customized AI stuff for them. This is not AI making decisions. It's not AI informing decisions. What it really is AI allowing for people to get information faster with less manual intervention. And if you think about it that way, it makes a lot of sense. China has held the world's first sports event for humanoids. So we had humanoids doing like track runs, boxing, and even soccer. I just think looking at some of this stuff, it's so surreal. Like you can see him boxing here, and if I scroll down, you can see the robot from the track, and then we can see them like working on their humanoids. And a humanoid is something I'm actively looking into purchasing just because I love technology and want to stay on the latest and greatest that exists. And if you want to stay on the latest and greatest, don't forget to subscribe here. I cover AI on a daily basis. Speaking of staying up to date with AI, we have this news article here. A lawyer in Australia had to apologize for filing a submission that included fake quotes to a non-existent case judgments generated by AI. The fake submission included fabricated quotes and non-existent case citations from the Supreme Court. As good as AI is, you have to always remember that it makes mistakes and you shouldn't rely on it fully because it will hallucinate. Alibaba released their own agentic coding platform this past week called Coder, and it's apparently free during the beta trial period. So I haven't tried this yet. I'll probably do a video of this later in the week. So if you want to check that out, don't forget to subscribe. I'll cover this at some point. I'll let you know how this works. If you want to try it out before then, I'll have a link in the description below alongside all the other links that we're covering for this week's news segment. All right, it is time to try our bacon world. We have a countdown. It's time to try our bacon world. We have a countdown, and we can see in 11 seconds we're going to be able to try this. We could have tried one of their initial images, which might have worked better, but we can try this one. If it doesn't work great, we'll come back to one of the initial images. So we can see here how it works. So if a character or camera gets stuck, hold the shift to focus movement. So we can kind of move around, and we are stuck. So let's hit shift. Okay. So the image that we started off with, that we generated, we are now able to use that as a world that we're running around in. So this is like an entire world from an image that we created that we can move. And you can see how it works and how it looks. It is a little bit slow, but it works, and this is absolutely insane technology. I'm going to actually show you one of the default ones, and you can see their prompt, which is really, really long. So we're just going to hit start, and we'll come back when this is done. Just a couple more news topics to cover, and then I'll show you this one, which is epic. Elon Musk has released Grok 2.5 model as open source. So he's saying, hey, this was our best model all of last year. Now it is completely open source, and Grok 3 will be made open source in about 6 months from now. So you can actually see all of Grok 2 here now. But also Elon Musk put out this tweet. Grok is evolving much faster than any other AI. If this rate of progress continues, XAI will outpace other companies by a significant margin. So if you look at this graph here and you don't read the top line, it looks really good for Grok. Like, look at Grok's numbers all the way up here at 25 in comparison to the other companies like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and DeepSeek. They're basically putting out no updates in the last 2 weeks. But hey, this was the iOS app update, and why are they putting out so many updates? Is it because the app is filled with bugs? Is it because their engineers are vibe coding using Grok and it's putting in so many different errors and problems? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, but I think this is a terrible metric. Someone commented back with an hilarious reply, and you can see here it says, my 3-year-old son is now twice as big as when he was born. He's on track to weigh 7.5 trillion pounds by the age of 10. In other words, Grok's app is just adding new features, it's getting a lot of bugs, and the rate of progress, the rate of updates on iOS, on their iOS app, isn't indicative of how much their app is actually progressing. A few weeks ago, I did a video on Kiro, which is an AI IDE from Amazon, and part of their launch was, hey, you can use it free until we have pricing, and they have recently added pricing, so your free limits are a lot less, but they basically said, hey, we want to provide an update on our pricing, and we have a fixed metering bug that caused requests to be miscounted. So they go on to say, hey, we heard many of you were surprised about how quickly you're using your included requests, and we're surprised as well, and we have noticed that the bug has caused our usage to look higher than it actually was, making the pricing on Kiro inaccurate. Pretty bad bug when you're charging customers. So we can see that the world that they generated for us, we can look around, we can move around. This was generated off of a prompt. We can jump. So let's jump here. Boom, jump. We can press F to attack. Can we attack, please? And you can see our hammer or whatever come out, our sword, and you can see how it all works and how it all looks. This is fully AI generated, which is absolutely wild. The demo is a little bit short and does take some time to get in queue, but I think from a technological perspective, it is absolutely insane what we're able to do. This is like a full video game that's being generated from a prompt. Is it great? No, not yet. Is this technology going to get better? Yes, most definitely. Think about the future where you can just like upload an image, give it a prompt, and you have a video game the way you want, the way you imagine. I think the premise of that is absolutely wild. It's insane to think about. Really cool. If you enjoyed this week's AI news segment, don't forget to subscribe. I cover AI on a daily basis. Don't forget to like the video. It tells the algorithm you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more of it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are as a whole, and I'll see you tomorrow with more AI.
Meant to be.